Hello, everybody, and welcome to the July 19th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine, and this is the last episode of the week because today is Thursday. Hope you guys will enjoy your weekend after this. But let's start off by talking about some news. Wait, is today Thursday, or is time actually a construct made by us humans? That right there is better philosophy than anything you'll learn on Philosophy 2. Or, for that matter, anything you'll learn on whatever that PBS series I covered the first episode of was. PBS. I figured we should start by talking about a typical reaction I've seen in politics, that being the idea that we have to trust the U.S. intelligence agencies. Now, to be clear, if it came between a U.S. intelligence agency and a foreign dictatorship like the DPRK or, the USSR back when that was a thing, you should pick the U.S. intelligence agencies. However, it should be known that the intelligence agencies do lie constantly. That's just a well-known fact, and they do even get things wrong. There were intelligence that did say Iraq had WMDs. It turned out that was wrong, and then they, sort of forgot that was wrong and continued repeating it for a while, and never pulled out of Iraq, but that's another story. The entire point of the intelligence agency is to lie. We've covered several of them on the show. Off the top of my head, Operation Mongoose and Operation Mockingbird were both heavily involved with lying. One of them was about creating propaganda networks to push the CIA agenda, including major ones like the New York Times, for instance. And another was about literally killing people and blaming it on Castro. Of course the intelligence agencies lie. We all know they lie all the time. And you don't need to believe that the sinking of the Titanic was a plot to create the Federal Reserves in order to believe that. At least I hope you don't. On a side note, did you know that there are people who believe the sinking of the Titanic was related to creating the Federal Reserves? It's actually very simple when you think about it. You see, the people who didn't want to create the Federal Reserves were all on the Titanic, all hundreds of them. And, yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Anyway, here's something funny from Charlie Kirk's Twitter. The greatest threat to America is from within. It is the rise of Marxism. That doesn't exist. Marxism is not on a rise. It has never been on a rise, and it will probably never... There's the fly, by the way. Yeah, remember that fly that's been annoying me for like a week? There it is. There it is. I know, I'm ranting now, but there's never been a rise in Marxism. Even the thing most people blame, like university professors. There are actually many universities that force you to sign a paper that says you are not a Marxist. So that's just a lie. Here's the complacency of our citizens. I thought we were politically divided. I thought this was the most divided times of all time because of Democrats. Now all of a sudden we're all complacent. Interesting. Schools not teaching our history. Citation needed. And if anything, if you watch secular talk especially, you know this happens. There are tons of examples of schools whitewashing history to make it American exceptionalism, sorry. It happens all the time. Politicians recklessly spending money we don't have. Build that wall. Bureaucrats targeting political opponents. Citation needed. And don't bring up the IRS targeting scandal. Because, again, a full 10% of those companies were liberal. Or 10% of those organizations were liberal. Everybody ignores that. And Mia that lies professionally. He goes on Fox all the time, by the way. Which is the professional lie. It was the most well-known lies. And Charlie Kirk is always on Fox and Friends. He's been on several Fox shows in general. But those are all fine, because they lie in my direction. I could spend this entire episode just getting angry at that fly, by the way. Because it's still buzzing around here, and it's actually starting to really anger me. Actually, it has been for over a week now. Anyway, did you guys hear San Francisco is now not letting non-citizens vote? Making, again, the United States one of the few countries that actually allows that. Because apparently letting people who broke a very important law, you know, how to come here, vote in elections, that's always a good idea to them. I don't get it either. Lastly, and we're doing kind of a shorter episode today because there really isn't that much, Democrats have finally unleashed their new slogan, and it is simply, for the people. That's a pretty vague slogan, honestly. I mean, it's good to know you're for the people. I almost thought you were 3 the people. But it's a good thing to know you aren't 5 the people. My mouth feels really weird today. I don't know why. Anyway, that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.